70% of men are fuckboys. And then 30% are the good guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cherie. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video today. And we are talking about Insecure Season 2, Episode 1 today. So let's just go ahead and get right into today's video. So we finally made it back. Insecure is here. We are starting off with Issa and Lawrence are of course no longer together. Lawrence has moved out, as we saw from the last episode of season 1, and he is apparently on the weekend he's staying with Tasha, his I don't know if we really can call her a girlfriend, because that's just, I don't know what to call her, but he's staying with Tasha on the weekends and staying with his homie on the weekdays on the air mattress. So yeah, that is the status of Lawrence, and he's avoiding Issa. She hasn't seen him in, I believe, 3 months since everything happened before. So Issa wants to see him. Of course, she wants to reconcile with him, but he's not. He's just still in his feelings, as he should be. He has that right to still be in his feelings. I would be still in my feelings. So he doesn't even want to see her, and I understand that. I really understand that. So Issa is trying to come up with a way to try to get him over there, and finally she discovers that he has a jury duty notice. So he has to show up for that. So he finally makes it over there after a whole, and you guys watched the episode, so you know he goes over there and he picks up his stuff, and he ends up just having a quick quickie with him. When I say quickie, I don't think this was 30 seconds. This was very, very quick. And he kisses her on the cheek, and he leaves. And she's sitting there because she so wants to be back with Lawrence. And she's sitting there, and it kind of like a hope situation. Like, now I have hope. But Issa is forgetting that the reason why she cheated in the first place, she was not happy in her relationship with Lawrence. So now that it's over with, like, why is she really trying to go back with him? Is that because she only feels that is her only option at this point? Because she's been going on dates with crazy, well, can we really consider those guys crazy? I don't know, but she's going on dates with these guys, and it's not really working out. So I think that she's just lonely at this point, and she just misses Lawrence, but I don't think Issa wants to be with Lawrence. Now, on Twitter, the Lawrence Hive has existed, and if you don't know what the Lawrence Hive is, it is men who are really like caping for Lawrence. They're like lifting him up, celebrating him. And I want to tell you guys why I believe the Lawrence Hive exists. For so long, we've only seen, like, most of the time, majority of the time, only men being portrayed as cheaters on TV, on web series. And finally, we have this this good guy type being portrayed where he's but he fits into the mold of what most people would consider a good guy, and he's faithful to his woman. Well, he was faithful to her. Like, he had Tasha offering him up all the goods, and he turned it down. So he was a good guy, and he got cheated on. And you don't see those type of men portrayed in the media a lot, especially black men. Good, faithful black men in the media is rare to see that. So to see that exist on TV, of course men are going to be excited to see that on TV, because it doesn't happen a lot. But the problem with the Lawrence Hive, and I think that most women have, is we have, like, let's say, if we had to figure out a percentage, let's say 70% of men are just, let's say 70% of men are fuckboys, and then 30% are the good guys, okay? So I'm just making up this percentage of what I believe in my mind. You may not agree with it, but in my mind, 70% of men are fuckboys and 30% are good guys. The 70% is kind of trying to be in the Lawrence Hive, and you don't really belong there. So we're like, sir, you don't belong here. Why are you a part of this hive? So they're kind of like tainting the Lawrence hive. But the Lawrence hive have the right to exist, as they should be caping for their guy, for their dude, because you don't get to see yourself like that. So yes, Lawrence hive, I'm with you, because Lawrence was cheated on and he has every right to do whatever he wants to do in regards to Issa right now. But you 70%, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Okay, you do not belong. And that's the problem that women have, is because you don't belong there. So sir, no, you cannot be a part of the Lawrence hive. But personally, I don't have a problem with the Lawrence hive if it's just those 30% of men who are like repping for their dude. But the 70%, boy, bye. All right, moving on to Molly. Molly, we see her at work. She's on this kick where she's not, dating anyone. She's not having men in and out of her bed. And if she wanted to do that, that was her. She had the right to do that because she is a single woman. But for her mind's sake, she is just trying to free herself of all of the things that she had going on, because Molly was making kind of like poor decisions in dating. So we see her in counseling, but she's not really being open. But then they also bring up the point about her making less than her white counterparts in corporate America. We know that this happens a lot in corporate America. Even though I personally do not work in corporate America, we know that this is happening. So we see Molly experiencing that. So how do you go about addressing that when you do find out that, hey, I know I'm a better worker, a better employee than this person. Why is he making more money than me? How do you address your employer? That's really, really a tough spot and really uncomfortable. And the final thing I want to mention that I kind of got from this episode is, like, at the beginning of the episode, we see that Issa is dating. Like I said, I had a video on this I made like a year ago. Has it been a year? Maybe a year or so ago, about how terrible it is to be dating, because men expect you to be all of these things, and it's exhausting and it's tiring, and it's very hard to find someone who will accept you for you, including all of your flaws. And I know that it's okay to have standards, but sometimes, not all the time, men have these things of how they expect a woman to behave, what they want her to look like, and these things are just like, most of the time is not real, or it's difficult or hard to maintain for a woman. So dating is just terrible. Like, and my best friend, she keeps trying to set me up, and she's been married for a few years now, and she's been out of the game. I'm like, girl, these streets are terrible. It's you be happy in your marriage, and just you be happy over there, because you have no idea how hard it is out here in these dating streets. So we see Issa experiencing that. So I related to that moment of how awful dating is. But overall, it was a good episode. I am looking forward to the rest of the season. I do not want Issa and Lawrence back together. I want Molly to, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing how all of this plays out. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, as I'm sure you will. And I will see you guys the next time. You guys be blessed, and bye.